All right, folks. Now, honestly, I wish I would have done a video about the Katt Williams interview when it first dropped because I had no idea it was going to be as big as it was. And it seems that anybody that did any sort of content on the subject got a number of views. But you know me, on the main channel, the Tyler Perry stuff has me preoccupied. But in any case, I wanted to do a video because over the weekend, there was a video from a comedy club that was posted online. You know, people at these shows that uh, disobey the rules of no phones decided to record Dave Chappelle giving his thoughts on the Katt Williams interview, as well as the little scuffle, not physical, of course, but the little back and forth between him and D. Ray Davis on stage about their differing opinions on the Katt Williams situation. Now, when it comes to it, you know, the Katt Williams interview at this point in time, what is it, January 22nd, when I'm recording this video, it has over 52 million views on the Club Shay YouTube channel. And that's the full interview, the full, like, what is it, 2 hour, 48-minute interview has over 50 million views. That's not even including the various amounts of clips. You know, like if you watch like Vlad TV, for example, or other YouTube channels that do interviews, they have like maybe an interview that could be 1 to 2+ hours, but then sometimes it gets chopped up in like 15 to 20+ clips of various subjects. And then, you know, all those clips get their own views, of course. I'd wager that if you look at all the clips that Club Shay put up from the interview, plus the 52+ million from the actual interview itself, Katt Williams has probably generated close to, if not over 100 million views for that channel, which is insane. Now, Dave Chappelle dropped his Netflix special. It was either on what, December 31st or January 1st. I forgot exactly what day, but it was basically at the top of 2024. I didn't really care for it that much. I renewed my Netflix subscription. I'm like, okay, Dave dropping the special. Let me see what he got. And aside from the bit where he talked about the Chris Rock slap, and then a couple months later when he got attacked on stage himself, I didn't really care for the special that much because, unfortunately, and this is just my opinion, I'm a Dave Chappelle fan, but the last 2 or 3 specials he's dropped on Netflix, I've been kind of disappointed. That's not to say that some of them didn't have a couple of funny, you know, stories or jokes, but for the most part, Dave Chappelle is only going at the LGBTQ plus, or, you know, those communities of people who have beef with him. And it seems like every time there's a Dave Chappelle special or, you know, a clip of him circulating online, it's him taking a jab at that group or that group taking a jab at him. But in any case, he's utilizing his platform to go against the powers that be that try to silence him. And he has every right to do that because, well, it's his platform. But the thing is, as a fan, I'd rather just see the jokes, you know, or hear the jokes. But I didn't, you know, to me, it's like in this last special, he said, well, you know, I'm not going to get up here and talk about the LG alphabet community and whatnot. But then he spent like 90% of his special doing just that. Now, he had some choice words about Katt Williams in his interview because he felt like it wasn't a good look for black people. It's like, oh, why do, you know, black people have to have these disagreements and, you know, name calling and whatnot in public? White comedians don't do that. And he feel like, you know, he felt like it wasn't a good look. Now, here's my thing with this, because it sounds a bit hypocritical. In one of his specials, and I'm sorry I can't exactly pinpoint which one, but I know in one special, Dave Chappelle talked about how he was like 15, 16 years old. There was a comedian that stole a joke from him. And this was in one of his Netflix specials, you know, one of these multi-million-dollar specials he gets paid to do. So he used his platform to call out a fellow comedian who I believe was black that stole a joke from him when he was a teenager. So why is it wrong for Katt to do the same thing? Because if you ask me, because, you know, I feel like you can believe or not believe what you wanted from the Katt Williams interview, but it seemed to me Katt came to clear the air because you got Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley, Cedric the Entertainer, darn near everybody Katt called out within like the first 20, 30 minutes of his interview, these were all comedians who were on Club Shay Shay, and they were talking about him in one way or another. Katt only showed up because he wanted to set the record straight. For example, with the Cedric the Entertainer thing, the joke about, black people going to the moon. With Katt Williams, it was a car. With Cedric, he changed it to a rocket ship. And he's like, yes, Ced and Steve came to me to apologize. I accepted their apology and gave them a pass. And that was 10 years ago. So now when Ced gets on a huge platform like this and basically acts like he doesn't know that he stole the joke, I had to set the record straight. And look, to be honest, were there some people that got caught stray bullets that didn't deserve them during the interview, such as Chris Tucker or Ludacris? Yeah. Was it funny? Yes. Unnecessary? Yeah. But either way, I will admit there were some people during Katt's, rant that I felt like, they didn't deserve that. But hey, he got up there and said what he said. But for the most part, I think we can all agree Katt Williams only came out of the shadows to set the record straight because other comedians who either did him wrong or talked about him and lied, he came on the same platform they did to tell the truth. And there's nothing wrong with that, because a lot of people said pretty much everybody that Katt Williams talked about in that interview has spoken out at some point within like 36 to 48 hours. But nobody has called Katt Williams a liar. I mean, some people talk about like the 3,000 books. By the time he was like 7 or something, he read that many books, or he can't run like a 4.4 or something like that. But in terms of his commentary, I think Tiffany Haddish was like the only one who said, actually, I did, do or perform at the Laugh Factory at such and such a time. But other than that, I think Ice Cube said like, he kind of exaggerated a bit when it came to the script writing of Friday After Next. But aside from that, I don't think anybody flat out said, oh, he's a liar. So Dave Chappelle, to me, and look, I hate to say it, but it did sound like a bit bitter. Maybe he felt some kind of way about the Katt interview. In my opinion, the Katt interview completely stole the thunder from Dave's special. But like I said, I watched it. I didn't really care for it. I had a couple friends who, they love Dave Chappelle as well, but they said like, yeah, man, that special really ain't do it for me. And if the Katt special or the interview never dropped when it did, I think it's safe to say the Dave special would have come and went like the last couple specials did, where it came out, people would argue about it on online or Twitter, X or whatever. You would have a few headlines about this group of people being offended. Dave would respond maybe in a tweet or at a follow-up show, and that would be about it. But the Katt Williams interview came like a thief in the night. I mean, as D. Ray Davis said, Dave, you dropped an album, Katt dropped a mixtape. And well, I wish we knew the numbers of the Netflix special, but I think it's safe to say that Katt probably killed it. And it's not like Katt was the one that released the special. That was Shannon Sharpe and his team. Club Shay Shay released that special when they did. If I'm not mistaken, didn't they release it like on the same day or just damn near close to the same day as the Dave special? And I mean, I think the headlines tell the truth. Here we are like 2 or 3 weeks later, and we're still talking about the Katt special. The Dave special, just nobody really cared. I'm not saying that it didn't do well. Honestly, I couldn't tell you how well or how poorly it did, but I don't think that special would have had the same impact as the Katt interview, even if the Katt interview came out like, let's say 2 or 3 weeks later. Because what was Dave saying on stage that he hasn't said in the past couple specials already? And this isn't a knock on Dave Chappelle. I am a fan, but like I said, the past couple specials just really haven't been hitting like they used to, because most of the time it's just him going against, the groups of people that have it out for him. So in a way, it kind of felt like Dave was... I see his point. There is some truth to what he said about how when it comes to like black people of notoriety, whether it be, singers, comedians, whatnot, our drama and tea has to be spilt and dealt with in the public eye. Whereas, let's say, if Adam Sandler and, I don't know, Steve Martin had any beef, that wasn't brought to the public. But It's just that, hey, the people who wronged Katt made money off his stolen material, or they lied on him, and he pretty much, hey, they pulled out pistols, and so did he, metaphorically, of course. It's like they went on a huge platform in the black community and told lies. He went on the same platform to dispel the truth. AKA is basically, look, he kept the same energy they were given. Simple as that. Now again, Dave had some truth to what he was saying, but I think he missed the mark on this particular situation. Look, Katt had every right to go on the platform and speak his truth and give his thoughts and whatnot. Dave has every right to do the same thing on his platform, but it just felt a bit gatekeeperish for him to try to tell another black comedian what he should and shouldn't say, because it kind of gives the Bill Cosby vibes of calling out comedians who weren't doing clean comedy the way he was. It's like, no, Dave, like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. D. Ray Davis, the clip shows, and I'm not putting any of those clips in this video. I don't want any kind of issues, but you can find them online. It's just a simple Google or Twitter search away. But D. Ray, I think he made a point about it being good for comedy, because with people being brought to the forefront for stealing jokes and whatnot, maybe, just maybe, there will be less of that in the comedy sphere, especially in the day and age of social media, because look at how quick people pulled up the receipts as soon as Katt said what he said during the interview. What was it, this said entertainer joke he stole from what's it called, like Designing Women or Designer Women or whatever? And then they pulled up the receipts on Katt Williams and his comic view joke, and said taking it to use during the Kings of Comedy. I think there was even the BET Hip Hop Awards or something, where Katt did a great 5-minute bit, and he talked about like gas, like pumping gas used to be fun. And then Steve Harvey used the same joke during a comedy routine of his own years later. But yeah, I just think that Dave not seeing the value in what Katt did, I don't know, it just gives off bitter vibes. That's just me. He talks about, like, man literally said, where's the money in that? Well, Dave used, I don't think I'd call it a special, but it kind of was released as a special, not on Netflix, but like a little 15-20 minute thing where he was at a comedy club. He talked about his situation with Comedy Central when he did the Chappelle show and signed a deal where Comedy Central owned the show. And then he used his platform to talk about his grievances on it. He asked the people to boycott, and boom, Comedy Central worked with him, and he was able to get the show back on Netflix and make residuals off of it. Guess what? He used his platform to talk about how he was wronged. And I'm like, well, doesn't that sound like what Katt did? I mean, sure, it was Shannon Sharp's platform, but you know what I mean. So, yeah, I don't agree with Dave on this one. Let me know your thoughts. What did you think of his Netflix special? Did you like it? What did you think about the Katt Williams special? Did you enjoy that? I've watched it 3 times. I'm talking about the entire thing 3 times, and I've watched different clips dozens of times over. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. Let me know yours in the comment section below. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.